Hey you guys, today I am back with another declutter. Obviously today's declutter is going to be a concealer declutter, so I hope you guys are all excited about today's video. If you are, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I do have quite a bit of concealers laid out here. These are all of the concealers that I have in my collection. I honestly can't really imagine myself getting rid of too many concealers because I love using a bunch of different concealers. I always kind of switch it up with my makeup routine. So first up we have this Laura Mercier concealer. This is her Flawless Fusion concealer, and this one is newer to my collection. I have only used this a couple of times, so I am going to be keeping this because I want to try it out some more. I think I've probably only used it 1 or 2 times, but yeah. The times that I have used it, I have enjoyed it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. Next up, we have this Hey Honey Trick and Treat concealer. I think I've only used this one time. I got it in like an Ipsy or something, and yeah, I didn't really like it very much. This is in the shade light to medium. I do not see myself using this, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. Next up, we have like my favorite drugstore concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I have mine in 5 shades because I freaking love this concealer. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this concealer. It is one of my favorite concealers, like not even just from the drugstore. I just really like this concealer in general. I do have 5 different ones of this because some of them are backups of my shades. This is a really nice full coverage concealer. It is affordable since it is a drugstore brand. I really like it a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping all of these. Next, we have another drugstore concealer, and I of course have a bunch of these. I use this concealer all the time. I really like it a lot. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping all of these because I need to finish them up. I only have a little bit left in each of these. I have like the color correcting one and then different shades of the concealer because sometimes I am self-tanned. I did recently just pick this new one up in the lightest shade. So yeah, I am definitely going to be keeping these. I like to take the little sponge off the top and just like twist the product up. I also highly recommend this drugstore concealer. It is really good. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping these. Next up, we have the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I got it in this shade recently, so I'm going to be keeping this one because it is a lighter shade. This shade is just a little bit too dark for me. Honestly, I'm not like the biggest fan of this formula. Like, I feel like it's just okay. It's obviously not as good as their Age Rewind, but I am going to be keeping the lighter shade to test out a little bit more. And then I'm going to be decluttering this darker shade because it does not match me at all. Okay, this is another drugstore concealer that I have a ton of different like tubes of because when I really like a concealer, I buy it in a bunch of different shades or in backups. Like, pretty sure this one is a backup of this one. This one is almost out. I might go ahead and toss some of these ones that are looking like super old and dingy. I believe some of them are actually almost empty. I don't even know why I have so many because I feel like these are like all like the same shade. I don't know what is happening here. Okay, no, that one's a different shade. So some of these C2 shades I am going to go ahead and declutter because I have 5 of these and I don't really know why, and some of them are probably almost empty. But yeah, this is another drugstore concealer that I really like a lot. It's similar to the CoverGirl one. It is a full coverage concealer, and yeah, I do really like this one a lot as well. So yeah, I'm going to be keeping this concealer in general, but I'm probably going to get rid of some of these C2 shades because they're almost empty and they're kind of old. Then we also have the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate version, which is obviously the hydrating version of the last concealer. This one is just as good. I really enjoy this one a lot, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. Next, we have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have not used this in so long. I used to use this all the time. It's just a pot concealer. This is also a really nice concealer, especially for just like spot concealing because it is super full coverage. I love this, so I am going to keep this. Next, we have like an old iconic concealer. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is so old. Like, I think I got this back in like, I don't even know, 2014 or 2015, so it's super old. So I am going to go ahead and declutter it. I was never like the biggest fan of this concealer. Like, I never understood the hype around it. So yeah, I was never like super impressed with this concealer, so I am going to go ahead and declutter it. I'm not really sure why I've hung on to it for this long. This is another one that used to be like a big deal. I obviously have this shade for like contouring and stuff. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer, and this was like a huge deal like years ago for contouring. I haven't used this in so long. It's also very old, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next, we have the Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer, and I used to enjoy this. It is almost empty and it's pretty old. I haven't picked this up in so long, but I do remember liking it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. Next, we have this Urban Decay 24/7 Concealer Pencil. I'm not even sure why I have this. I think I used to use this for like my brows. Like, does this not twist? I think you have to sharpen this. I haven't used this in so long, but I'm pretty sure I used to use this to like highlight my brow bone. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile because I feel like I want to get rid of this, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, next up I have 3 shades of the Benefit Boing Concealer. This is the Cakeless Concealer. I do really enjoy this. Love the packaging of this, and yeah, I use this a lot, so I am going to be keeping all 3 of these. I like to have different shades of concealers for when I am self-tanned and for when I'm not self-tanned, so I'm going to be keeping all 3 of these. All right, next up we have 3 of these Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage Brighten and Correct Duo. I actually have not used these because I believe they either just came out with these, or I'm not really sure if they came out with new shades, but I just got sent these and I have not tried it out yet. So obviously I'm going to be keeping all 3 of these. So on one side you have your Brighten, and then on the other side you have your Correct. I really need to try these out, so obviously I'm going to be keeping these. Next up we have this concealer from CoverGirl. This is the Full Spectrum All Day Idol Concealer, and this is not in my shade. I don't even know if I ever used this, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Then we have this Sephora Collection Concealer. This is the Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. Man, this used to be like my favorite concealer. I used this like every day. I do really enjoy this concealer still, so I am going to be keeping both of these. This is another like affordable option for a concealer that is also like really high quality. I really like this a lot. I feel like it's a nice hydrating concealer for underneath the eyes, so yeah, going to be keeping both of these. So next I have this concealer from YSL. This is a nice like brightening concealer. It is like a pin type concealer that you push up from the bottom. I do really like this for like highlighting underneath the eyes, so I am going to be keeping this. Next we have this concealer from Pretty Vulgar. I don't even know if I've used this one either. This one is just not really in my shade, so I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. Pretty sure this came in like a BoxyCharm or something, so yeah, I'm not like too attached to it, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Then we have the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. This one is a newer concealer to my collection. I actually really do enjoy this concealer, so I am going to be keeping it. Then we have the Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer. I love this concealer, so obviously I'm going to be keeping all of these. I need my different shades, of course, for when I'm self-tanned and not. This is a really nice concealer that looks natural underneath the eyes. It's kind of like a medium coverage concealer, and I really enjoy it, so I'm going to be keeping all of these. Next, we have the Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer. This was like so popular a few years ago, and this is a super full coverage concealer. Mine is like pretty old, so I think I'm going to go ahead and toss this one. Then we have this Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I don't like this at all. I feel like people really liked this concealer, and I just never got the hype on it, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I did not enjoy this. Then we have these 2 concealers. I'm not even going to be saying anything on these. I'm just going to go ahead and declutter them. Next we have the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Concealer. I actually do like this concealer. It's not like the best concealer, but it is pretty decent, so I am going to go ahead and keep this one. Then I have 2 shades of the NYX HD Concealer. I have like a banana color correcting one and then just a regular one. I do not like this concealer at all. Like, I seriously think this concealer sucks, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter both of these. Then we have the Revlon Color Stay Concealer. This one was a disappointing concealer. I love the Revlon Color Stay foundation, but I do not like this concealer at all, so I'm also going to be decluttering this one. Next we have the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Concealer. Love this concealer. This has quickly become one of my favorite concealers. I have 3 different shades because I need all 3 of these for when I'm tanned and not tanned, so yeah, I love this concealer and I do recommend it. I have a review video on this concealer. I will put it in the cards or something if you guys want to go and watch that, but yeah, I am going to be keeping all 3 of these shades. Then we have the regular Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm almost out of this one, so I am going to go ahead and finish this up, so I am going to be keeping this. Then we have 4 shades of the old like Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. They don't sell this anymore. The Stay Naked replaced this concealer. This used to be like my all-time favorite concealer, so yeah, I'm going to be keeping all of these because you can't even buy this anymore, so I do want to finish these up. I have like a color correcting one, which I love. I have a darker shade and then 2 lighter shades. I used to love this. I feel like I love this one more than the Stay Naked, so I don't know why they replaced this with that one, even though I like that one as well, but yeah, I'm going to be keeping all of these. Okay, obviously I love this concealer because I have so many of these. Some of these are backups, that's why I have so many of these, but this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. This is their Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I use this literally every single day. I love it, so I am going to be keeping all of these. This is a really nice like light to medium coverage concealer that looks super natural underneath the eyes. It is hydrating, and I feel like it doesn't look like cakey or gross underneath your eyes. That's why I love it so much, and it wears really nicely throughout the day, so I am going to be keeping all of these. Then we have the new Pure Push Up Concealer. I hate this concealer. I did a review on this concealer, and I just don't like it at all. I think I am going to go ahead and get rid of both of these because I don't use these. I don't like it, don't recommend it, so yeah. Then I have 2 shades of this Dose of Colors concealer. concealer. One of them is too dark. I have the shade 11 and the shade, I think it's, yeah, 08. I am going to be keeping 08 and then decluttering 11 because this does not match me like at all. Then I have the Clinique Even Better concealer. I do also have a review video on this concealer. I have two different shades. This one is a little bit too dark for me, and then we have the lighter shade. This is like the lightest shade in the collection, and it's still a little bit dark for underneath my eyes. I like a really like brightening concealer. I do think this is a great formula, so I am going to be keeping both of these because it was pretty expensive, and I can use the darker one like on my face to spot conceal. So yeah, I am going to be keeping both of these. They do have like a little sponge on one end. Then we have this Milani Retouch and Erase concealer. I think I've only used this like one time, and I don't know, I didn't really like it, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I have two shades of the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. These are both in the shade Swan. I use this concealer all the time to like cut my crease and stuff. I really like it, so I'm going to be keeping both of these. One is like an older bottle, and then one is like my backup. Next up, we have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love this concealer, so I am going to be keeping it. Next up, we have the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Mine are like super gross and separating. I was never like the biggest fan of this concealer. I much prefer their Pretty Fresh concealer, so I am going to be decluttering both of these. Then I have like this little baby sample version of the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I've tried this one time, and honestly, I didn't really like it that much. I think I am going to give it another shot, and then if I don't like it after that, I'll probably get rid of it. And then lastly, we have this Laura Mercier concealer. I have not even used this, so I am going to be keeping it. This is her Secret Camouflage Concealer. I am going to be keeping this. So here are all of the concealers that I am going to be decluttering. I feel like we got rid of a pretty good amount. I'm like super attached to my concealers. The only one I had in my maybe pile is this Urban Decay one, and I am going to go ahead and declutter it. So overall, I am getting rid of 20 concealers, so I feel like that's a pretty good amount. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you guys have your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.